Imagine starting an episode with the main character already captured. That's right. Right from the beginning, we are thrust into a tense and suspenseful situation. Wang Ling, our hero, and his tough, bully-like friend have been kidnapped by Jungle Win, the ruthless leader of a dangerous criminal organization. Both are bound with a sacred rope, a powerful artifact that completely suppresses any spiritual power. In other words, they are utterly defenseless. The atmosphere grows even darker when we learn that the seal containing Wang Ling's negative energy is on the verge of breaking. The worst part? If that happens, the entire Earth could be destroyed in a matter of seconds. The tension thickens, lightning streaks across the sky, violent winds howl through the air, and it feels like chaos is about to erupt at any moment. In this intense scenario, the spirit residing in Wang Ling's sword awakens. In a surprisingly humorous attempt to calm its master, the spirit reminds him that the crispy noodles of the day are half off. Oddly enough, this strange encouragement stabilizes Wang Ling's power for a brief moment. Yet the danger remains far from over. The kidnapping is merely the first step in a much larger, more sinister plan. Amid this charged atmosphere, we get to know one of the most mysterious characters in the story, the driver. Up until now, he seemed like just an ordinary old man, insignificant and there only to fill a background role. But everything changes when one of the gang's henchmen openly disrespects his presence. Without warning, the elderly man unleashes a powerful lightning bolt that pierces through every floor of the building, making it clear he is no ordinary figure. Wang Ling's sword spirit observes this and reveals that the man possesses immense power, and the display we witnessed is far from his full strength. The story takes a major twist when we discover that Jungle Win herself was once his disciple. In other words, the driver was the one who taught the spiritual techniques to the very criminal who now threatens to destroy everything. Their fight is on a completely different level. The old man summons an army of golden knights using his special technique, treasure-storing disc, and battles the enemies as if he were in his prime. But time has taken its toll. His body can no longer handle such power, and he becomes weakened after the battle. In an epic moment of sacrifice, he places himself between his former disciple and a helicopter attack, taking a fatal bullet meant for her. Even knowing she has become a threat, he still sees the girl he once trained. A character who began as a background figure ends up a tragic hero. While all this unfolds, the school continues its preparations for a major tournament among the students, unaware of the chaos brewing behind the scenes. Jungle Win, now disguised as Rebufeng, one of the students, begins to put her infiltration plan into motion. Her goal is to eliminate Wang Ling from within, participating in the competition without raising suspicion. Meanwhile, teachers and principals from both schools gather for a conference until Rebufeng bursts in, panicked, to announce that Wang Ling has been kidnapped. The news causes uproar, and a rescue operation is immediately organized. During this time, we see Wang Ling and his friends still bound, the protagonist strapped to a wooden structure shaped like a cross. The bully attempts to negotiate with the captors, offering to reveal important secrets about Wang Ling if he is freed. But the henchman makes it clear only the boss can break the spell. The tension escalates, and a sense of urgency takes over the school and students, who begin to realize they are about to face something far greater than a mere school tournament. At this point, everything spirals completely out of control, and the action explodes with full force. The students, who were previously only concerned with the competition, unite to rescue Wang Ling. Rome, one of the most determined characters, becomes the highlight of this moment. Upon hearing about the kidnapping, despite being restrained by her own security guards to protect her from possible attacks, she easily frees herself, brandishes her sword, and declares she will not flee. she will fight to save her friend. Inspired by her courage, other students arm themselves and decide to follow her. The school turns into a genuine battlefield. Meanwhile, the old driver, now revealed as a masterful spiritual expert, continues his fight high above. In a memorable scene, he appears dancing atop a building and, without hesitation, unleashes a devastating spell called God Bay Power, destroying all enemies attempting to approach. The force of the attack causes multiple explosions in the sky. Even so, he is still not using his full power. The battle intensifies, and the students, security, and masters prepare for the inevitable confrontation with the criminal organization. What was meant to be a tournament now turns into a war for survival. Amid this chaos, one of the most impactful scenes unfolds. The old driver, already exhausted from casting countless spells, gathers the last of his energy to unleash his greatest technique. He summons a colossal spell in the sky called Treasure Storing Disc, from which dozens of golden knights march forward to attack. It's a breathtaking display of power and magic. But before the enemies can react, Su Rong charges alone, faces the attack head-on, and blocks it with her sword, completely nullifying the old man's summoning. The young woman shows she is on the same level as a master and launches a counterattack with dozens of floating blades surrounding her. At this moment, we are taken to a flashback that changes everything. We discover that Jungle Win, the villain, was once the old driver's apprentice. She called him Master, and it was beside him that she developed her spiritual powers before following the dark path she is now on. The battle ceases to be merely physical. It carries the pain of a master watching his student lose her way and the fury of a disciple turned enemy. The intensity of the fight increases, with Su Rong facing spiritual soldiers called Dragon Soldiers, created remotely by the old man, while he uses a gravitational field to try and stop her. But she fights back with everything she has, proving she will not retreat no matter the opponent. Just as the battle seems to reach its peak, reinforcements arrive. Zhuang, the school's hero, bursts onto the scene to confront the old driver. One of the golden soldiers approaches to attack Su Rong, but is immediately destroyed by Zhua, who storms the battlefield with overwhelming presence. The two collide with such force that a shockwave sweeps the surroundings. Although Zhua emerges unscathed from the impact, the old master looks visibly shaken, his body no longer able to endure the strain. With no time to recover, fate delivers the final blow. An elite team helicopter, hovering above, fires a precise shot that pierces the old man's body. Gravely wounded, he plummets from the sky, crashing onto the roof of an abandoned building. But his last act is one of sacrifice. Despite his injury, he uses his body as a shield to protect his former disciple, Jungle Win, proving that, despite everything, he still sees in her the girl he once trained with such care. It's a heavy, tragic moment full of meaning. The master falls not as a villain, but as someone who tried, until the very end, to save his student from the path she chose. With the old master fallen, the attention turns back to Su Rong, who is now unconscious due to the massive energy spent during the fight. Her main bodyguard quickly removes her from the battlefield to a safe place. But the danger is far from over. Rebufeng, who had appeared concerned about the girl, begins acting strangely. The guard, alert, notices something is wrong, and then comes the shocking revelation. That was not the real Rebufeng. In fact, it was Jungle Win in disguise, the very matriarch of the criminal organization, who had been impersonating the boy all this time. She raises a sphere of negative energy and prepares to attack the unconscious young woman, but is stopped before causing harm. The villain, composed, proposes to fight elsewhere, making it clear she still has tricks up her sleeve. This twist reveals how deep the organization's plan truly is. Jungle Win not only kidnapped, manipulated, and confronted her former allies, but also managed to infiltrate the school right under everyone's nose, ready to deliver the final blow at the perfect moment. Meanwhile, in the final moments of the intense battle, Sua Ying and the Green Dog, Wang Ling's spiritual mascot, approach the old driver's body, which is completely drained of strength. Zua says the old man will be arrested for all the crimes he committed, but the old master, at his limit, barely manages to speak. Instead of trying to defend himself or plead for forgiveness, he chooses to use the last fragment of his vital energy to perform a final act. He self-destructs, releasing a spiritual explosion that is immediately absorbed by the Green Dog, greatly strengthening the creature. It is a symbolic closure to this character's arc. A master who fell from grace, fought with all he had, protected his former disciple until the end, and chose to disappear before being taken as a criminal. On the other side, Wang Ling is finally rescued by the elite team, but even freed, he does not reveal the whole truth. Secretly, he hides the real Rebuefeng inside an old classroom and orders his spiritual creature to protect him until the end. With this, he ensures the tournament is postponed and avoids participating, or so he thinks. The next day, despite the recent chaos, the tournament finally begins. Wang Ling and his companions arrive at the massive arena, ready to compete, although the tension in the air is palpable. All students must hand over their cell phones and receive, in exchange, special communication devices for the event, ensuring the organization has complete control over the competition. During the opening ceremony, Wang Ling notices something strange. The bully boy who should be competing is not who he claims to be. In fact, Jungle Win is infiltrated, disguised with the intent to eliminate Su Rong. Despite the confusion, the tournament progresses, and the competitors begin exploring the arena, divided into elemental altars, each with specific rules to score points. The mood is full of adrenaline and mystery, as no one knows who is an ally or enemy, and with every move, a new surprise can change the competition's course. As the tournament unfolds, the students face intense battles for the altars scattered around the arena, each representing a different element: metal, water, fire, earth, and wood. Wang Ling, though considered a weak boy, surprises everyone by unleashing impressive power, especially after fusing with his spiritual mascot, the Green Dog. This fusion greatly enhances his strength and speed, allowing him to capture altars with remarkable speed. Meanwhile, his opponents begin strategizing to contain this unexpected threat, trying to protect their own altars and score more points for their teams. The competition heats up, and the audience watches closely as spiritual techniques, summons, and special abilities are used to dominate each altar. The tension grows with every passing minute because winning this tournament is not just about honor but could determine the fate of everyone involved. In the midst of these fierce battles, the tournament's dynamics gain a new layer when team leaders start realizing that the real key to victory lies in coordination and strategy through competitor rotation. The rival school president, noticing Wang Ling and his Green Dog spirit's growing strength, orders Rebuefeng to protect the central Earth altar, while the team works to quickly recover other altars, especially the fire altar under Lian Zhen's command. The strategy focuses on maintaining overwhelming leadership, leveraging numerical advantage and member skills to prevent the opposing team from scoring. Meanwhile, Wang Ling and his allies face increasingly difficult challenges, needing to combine their skills to overcome magic attacks, invisible traps, and powerful enemies. The tournament is not merely a physical battle but a true spiritual chess game, where every move could mean total success or defeat. As the tournament nears its climax, the confrontations become even more intense and dramatic. Wang Ling, already exhausted, feels the pressure to keep his team in the lead while facing stronger and stronger opponents. In one decisive battle, he finds himself surrounded and cornered, but uses his special technique, snow breath, to transform the battlefield into an ice rink, gaining a strategic advantage and successfully defending against enemy attacks. However, the opposing forces will not give up so easily. Rebufeng and allies launch coordinated, powerful attacks aimed at destabilizing Wang Ling and his defenses. At the same time, secret allies and mysterious characters appear, offering help or creating even more obstacles, building suspense and unpredictability that keeps everyone alert and eager for the tournament's outcome. So, guys, that was another episode full of action and plot twists, showing that this tournament will be much more than a simple competition. It is a true battle for survival and power. If you enjoyed this recap and want to follow every detail of this amazing story, don't forget to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Also, comment what you thought and what you expect for the next part. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Until then.